Bridgeport, you got to go directly to the source. I'm talking about the man that knows everybody, Ed Marszewski of Maria's. Hey, Ed!
Hello there. Great to see you. What's going on, Ji?
I got to learn everything about Bridgeport, man.
I can tell you all I know. Let's
5
go.
minutes or less?
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's talk about your family's history with Bridgeport.
You know, my mother came here. She started working with another Korean lady who owned this business. It was called Kaplan's Liquors. And after meeting the woman, she asked my mom to purchase the place because she wanted to move on. And she operated this place for a long time. And it was old school back in the day. It was kind of rough and tumble part of the neighborhood. And Maria basically became the mom to all the retirees, ex-felons, and troubled, youth, I guess, in the neighborhood. It was a packaged goods store and a bar.
So what did you guys do? You expanded it?
So my mother was working here for a long time and she was kind of getting tired of it. So we changed the bar. We basically started bringing in craft beer and we opened up this expansion place with a new restaurant attached to it called Kimchi, which is a Korean Polish street food place that we do with Chef Won Kim. So we would always joke about putting kimchi on a hot dog or kimchi on a Polish sausage. And we started serving them. And as we decided to do this expansion, we said, why don't we just make the entire restaurant based on this culinary experience of like this kind of weird hybrid immigrant experience of Korean.
Your experience?
Yeah, our experience, yeah. But other Korean Polish people's experience as well. So through that experience of serving craft beer though, we realized that a giant community of weirdos who are into beer, we started meeting all these beer aficionados, home brewers, brewers, met the breweries that existed in Chicago at the time, and we got really inspired by them. For a couple of years we started home brewing, started making stuff, and then we just leapt into it by opening up a small facility down out in Halsted Street.
Well, I want to check it out.
Yeah, you should come by. We are basically at the gateway of Bridgeport. We're just over Bubbly Creek. So
and Bubbly Creek is the border of Bridgeport.
That's right, so that's Bubbly Creek right there. So we're 100 feet away from Bridgeport. This is technically McKinley Park.
Why is it called Bubbly Creek? Is it bubble for not
well,
good reasons?
In the back of the yards, in the stockyards in general, all the waste from the animals they slaughtered was thrown into the creek, and all the waste and the bones and the marrow and stuff bubbled. And in fact, it encrusted the river many times. There are photographs in the early 1900s of people walking on lard over the creek.
No.
And that's, that's...
But you don't use that water in the beer.
No, not all the time.
Oh,
yeah. We have a more exciting experience for people to taste our beers by being able to come to our tap room.
How is building a brewery in a community bringing the community together?
Well, I'm a firm believer that all cities need these third places, right? These places that are semi-public, semi-private. It allows people to get together and have a conversation over a coffee or a tea, or in this instance, beer. We get a lot of people who live in and around the neighborhood here. We're delighted that we've created another space where we can have people hang out together, provide jobs for local people, and have another reason to come to the neighborhood. There are plenty of reasons to come to the South Side, and here's another great reason to come to Bridgeport, the community of the future.
Well, we got to go to your next spot.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Okay. So this is our experimental cultural center called the CoProsperity Sphere.
You're a creative force in Bridgeport. Why this?
Well, this space, we're able to have an interesting hybrid space where we have exhibitions, performances, talks, screenings, workshops, meetings, and now, of course, run a 24/7 radio station. And we started publishing all these magazines. We had an art magazine, Lumpen magazine, a design and photography magazine.
What is the magazine Lumpen? Describe it.
Lumpen is kind of like a counterculture, underground, independent zine covering politics, music, art, and weirdness.
Seems like you have a ton of artists.
Well, the greatest thing about this neighborhood, it's always been very affordable for most people to live and work in, especially for artists who need larger spaces so they can have their studio. Of course, in recent years, gentrification and increase in real estate has happened all over the place, but it's still very affordable here. We just want to make this a vibrant, safe community where people can enjoy themselves. I love this neighborhood. I love the opportunities represented here. I've always been a big fan of the fact that you could do whatever you want in the city of Chicago, and especially so in Bridgeport.
To find all of these places we highlighted in today's video, head to the Chicago Sun-Times website. See you next time on The Grid.